All right, what's up YouTube squad? It's your favorite developer back at it again, Jacob Tucker. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove contracts from your account. So yes, I know it's pitch black in my room, but frankly, I couldn't be bothered to go turn the light on. And I don't care. So it's pitch black in my room. You can make fun of me all I want, but this is how developers code anyway. And you're getting free educational content from the, pretty much the best developer on the planet Earth. So, you do what you can. Anyway, so this video is assuming that you already have sort of created your own testnet account and that you've deployed, your contract on testnet. If you don't know how to do either of those and you somehow winded up with this video, I'm going to leave a link in the description to a video I've already done to show you how to create an account on testnet and deploy a contract. But this video is going to focus solely on removing contracts from your account. So right now, first of all, you want to make sure your contract even exists. And to do that, you can go to flow-view-source.com/testnet/account and then /your testnet address. And by the way, this is the same process for mainnet, but removing a contract on mainnet is a little more significant. And I would talk to someone before doing that, because we'll talk at the end of this video why removing a contract has pretty significant consequences. Anyway, so you can see here that I'm at my account right now, and I can see I have an example contract deployed on the left. So if I click on example, you'll see this is an example contract I deployed, right? It has nothing in it. I'm just doing it for this video. So if you go to VS Code, let me open up VS Code here. So right now I have a folder up, right? And all this folder has is an example.cdc, and this is the contract I deployed, and then a flow.json. So I got this flow.json literally here. I can even do it again. So I'll delete this flow.json and let's go to my folder. So I'm in the folder that I'm working in right now. If I literally just do flow init, it'll make my own flow.json for me. And so you'll see I have a flow.json now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the contract from the command line. So from the CLI. So in order to do that, we need to specify some things about our account inside the flow.json for that to work. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make something under emulator account. We're gonna make something called testnet account. Now you can name this literally whatever you want. You can name this I love brownies, or you can name this pizza or whatever. I'm thinking a lot about food because I'm hungry. But you can name anything. You can name this anything you want. I'm just naming a testnet account so it makes the most sense for all of you guys. And what we're gonna do in here is we're gonna put two things. So the first thing we're gonna put is the address. And the address in my case, because I already have an address, is this address right here. And you'll notice this is the same exact address as the one that I put, the one that we're viewing on the Flow view source right here, right? That's where the contract lives. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the key. So the key, we're gonna have to specify a lot of different things for this key, and we're gonna do that together. So the first thing you're gonna put under key is type. Now, type is always going to be hex, so that's going to be the same for all of us. The next thing is going to be index, and all of you are going to put 0. All right, and then the next thing we're going to put is signature algorithm, like so. And this is where things may get different. So if we go to the Flow view source, and by the way, the reason that we put 0 here is because we're using the first key to sign all of our stuff. And the reason for that is because if we go to the view source right here, if we're looking at my account, you'll see there's only one key here that has a key ID of 0. So that means we're going to be using this key. And for like 99.9% of the time, all of you are going to be using this key as well, because this is the key that has weight 1,000 out of 1,000. So make sure that whatever key you're using has that weight 1,000 out of 1,000. But most of the time, you will be putting 0 here. Now, for that key, for the one that has that weight, look at what the curve says. So in my case, the curve says ECDSA P256. Now for some of you, it might say ECDSA SECP 256K1. If it says that for you, that's totally fine. It's the same thing. Just copy and paste that, bring it into your Flow.json, and put that as the signature algorithm. Now the next thing we're gonna do is hash algorithm. And what you're going to do for that one is you're going to copy and paste the hash. So the SHA-3256, just like so. Now, for like most of you, it's going to be SHA-3256. I mean, if not all of you, I'm pretty sure it's going to be that. This is the only one that should differ a little bit. All right. So now then the last thing I'm going to do is private key. Now, I always say, just as a slight disclaimer, make sure you don't expose your private key to anybody. Your private key is confidential information, of course, because this is just a YouTube video and we're on testnet. I'm putting this here, but it doesn't really matter. But if you're on mainnet, or if you're on, even on testnet, if you don't want people, messing with your stuff, don't expose your private key anywhere. So, if you're putting this in a flow.json, you're like pushing this to GitHub or something, make sure you don't do that because your private key is in there. All right, cool. So that should be good to go. Now, let me actually clear some stuff I was doing in the, I had to cut this video, so I was messing around with some stuff. But let's go ahead and clear our console. And so now we're in this directory. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do flow accounts, remove contract, just like that. I can even expand this a little bit so we can see it better. Flow accounts, remove contract. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put the name of the contract. So in my case, the contract is called example. In this account, it's called example. So let's put example space -- network equals testnet, and then -- signer equals testnet account. Now remember, if you named your account like brownies, make sure you put -- signer brownies, right? So let's go ahead and run this, and it's going to say removing contract example from this address. Now hopefully once this goes through, we should see that it disappears from our account. So let's go ahead and do that. So contracts deployed 0. So now if we go back to the view source, boom, it's now gone. Now I want to talk, so that's how you remove contracts, right? But I want to talk a little bit about what that actually means on Flow. So this is a little different from something like Ethereum, where if a contract were to disappear, all the data will get lost, right? On Flow, this is very different. Now, why is that? Well, it's because on Flow, as you know, data is not only stored in the contract, it's also stored in users' accounts. So when you remove a contract from testnet or mainnet or wherever, that doesn't mean that the data inside a user's account also goes away. Now that's really important to notice, because let's say you have an NFT contract, right? And users get their own collections and they start minting NFTs and they store their collections in their account, which is what you would normally do, right? If you were to then remove the NFT contract, you'll notice that the NFTs in the user's account do not go away. They stay there. Now, this is a good and bad thing. It's good because that means that, it's decentralized, and that if I'm a user and I have $1 billion NFT, you can never take that away from me. However, it's a bad thing because in another way, because if you as the contract owner are removing a contract to like reset the data because you made a mistake or something, you cannot use the same storage paths or the same public paths or anything like that to store a user's account. What I mean by that is if you give someone a collection, like an NFT collection, at /storage/my collection, you then remove the contract, and then you try to deploy another contract and have users store collections at that same storage path, it won't work. It'll say user already stored something here. So just note that if you ever redeploy a contract after removing it, you have to change up the storage paths in your contract because users will already be storing stuff there. So just wanted to make that clear. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. And if you have any questions, just comment below. So thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.